The Honourable Speaker, the Honourable Prime Minister, Honourable Leader of Opposition, Honourable Deputy Prime Ministers, Honourable Ministers, Honourable Assistant Ministers, and Members of Parliament. Nandravinaka, Namaste. Honourable Speaker, I rise today not just with pride, but with purpose. The honour of returning to Cabinet as Minister for Information is not lost on me. It comes with humility, with reflection, and with an unshakable commitment to serve. If I speak with more clarity today, Honourable Speaker, it's because of what has been learned and what it means to be misinterpreted. If I seem more determined, Honourable Speaker, it is because I know what it means to be given a second chance, not just by the Honourable Prime Minister, but by our people. Let me get this out of the way early, Honourable Speaker. What happened last year was personal. It became public. It was not political, but its consequences were. I do not hide from it, but I do not carry it like a wound. I carry it like a lesson in humility, and what it means to hold public trust. Regardless of its legal implications, Honourable Speaker, that lesson now guides everything I do. Now, this portfolio that I have been blessed to be given may not build roads, it may not build hospitals, but it builds something just as essential. That is public trust. We don't cut ribbons, but we connect our citizens to what those ribbons stand for. We are the ministry that makes sure the people of Fiji know what their government is doing, why it matters, and how to be a part of it. And I've read the jokes on social media. Oh, so you're the Minister for Facebook posts now. Or my favorite, the Minister for likes and shares. And to that I say yes, I'm proud of it. Because the post you scroll past may be the one that tells you your daughter's school is reopening, or where the nearest health clinic is, or how to get disaster relief. If it takes TikTok to get that message across, we'll dance, Honourable Speaker. We'll do the work and we'll make sure people know about it. Information, Honourable Speaker, is the lifeblood of a healthy democracy. As we've seen at the Fiji Media Association town halls in Sausavu and Lambasa, through it, people hold us accountable. Through it, they participate meaningfully in the life of the nation. When information flows freely, democracy deepens. When it is delayed or distorted, democracy suffers. That's why, beginning my tenure, it is a simple and powerful commitment. This ministry will champion facts. It will champion truth. And we will do so plainly, promptly, and persistently. People don't want white papers, Honourable Speaker. They want straight answers. They want to know, when will the next water cut be? Where the cyclone shelters are? What the government budget means for their families. They want that in simple English, or in Itoke, or in Hindustani, and if we must, in diagrams, if we have to. This ministry will speak like people speak. We're not trying to impress, we're just trying to inform. To my fellow ministers, your media liaison officers are not afterthoughts. They're your frontliners. They understand your process and priorities. For the Ministry of Information, they are our extended support systems. We will invite them into our meetings. We'll let them help us shape your narrative before the critics misshape it for you. Starting this quarter, Honourable Speaker, we'll be asking every ministry to submit a one-page communication plan. What are you doing? Who needs to know? How will you tell them? We are also building a central digital dashboard, a real-time calendar that tracks government announcements, prevents overlaps, and coordinates messaging. Because yes, sometimes it does feel like every ministry picked the same Friday to make an announcement. We will coordinate, we will plan better, and we will respect the audience's short attention span. I am deeply encouraged by the Honourable Deputy Prime Minister Kamikamida's announcement and plans this morning to connect the unconnected in our remote and rural and maritime areas. This will ensure the government's effort to bridge the digital divide and the right of our people to factual and prompt information. By January 2026, we will relaunch our government's website, not as a static archive, but as a live platform for policy, programs, services, and feedback. It will be mobile friendly. It will be accessible for persons with disabilities. It will speak in all our 3 official languages. And it will be updated regularly because information is a living thing. It's time we stopped expecting Fijians to hunt down government updates like the friends from high school. They should find what they need in seconds, not search through PDFs from 2018. Now, in crisis communication, Honourable Speaker, it is life-saving work. We've seen what happens when there's silence during disaster, or worse, confusion. To this day, I'm still not sure why everyone ran for toilet paper during COVID, Honourable Speaker. But this ministry will introduce a national crisis communications protocol. This will outline who speaks, on what platform, in which language, and how quickly. We will train for it, Honourable Speaker, and we will drill it. And when the time comes, we will deliver calmly and through clarity. Our people should never be left wondering why the siren is wailing and why there is a government official talking about seismic shocks on TV, and before the realization of what's happening hits them, the big waves or the tidal waves hit them first. They should be told plainly, promptly, and persistently. Digitizing our memory, Honourable Speaker, the National Archives of Fiji must not be a warehouse of dust. It must be a library of living memory. By December 2025, we will complete the digitization of the Indian indenture records. By the end of 2026, we will digitize up to 50% of our national historic collections, making them available to students, researchers, and every curious citizen. I want a child in Tabuya, Honourable Speaker, to be able to research for their great-great-grandfather's immigration record from a phone. I want a university student in Lautoka to write a thesis without having to travel to Suva. That is how we build the foundations of history, by connecting people with their ancestors at the touch of a button. Honourable Speaker, in terms of our strategic direction, I'd like to tie the vision of the ministry's strategic plan to the National Development Plan. Nation building. We will launch a civic media fellowship to train 50 young journalists and digital creators by the end of 2026. Equitable access. We will be deploying digital information kiosks to all government service centres. Responsive information, Honourable Speaker. We need to pilot and use AI-powered SMS alerts for rural and maritime areas. Partnerships. We need to institutionalize our Media Liaison Officer network, Honourable Speaker, and this will be co-chaired with the civil society and media leaders. Records access. We also need to look at building regional archive centres in Lautoka and Nabasa, and a knowledge society that is to launch an open government portal with raw data sets and policy reports by the middle of next year. Honourable Speaker, these are not buzzwords. These are the blueprints for the ministry. We need to reclaim the public broadcaster space, Honourable Speaker. Now, public funds, I believe to the tune of about $11 million, comes with public responsibility. Every public service broadcast grant will now be tied to measurable public outcomes. We will require 1. Weekly civic education programs, 2. Local language youth debates, 3. Balanced rural coverage, and 4. Transparent reporting on viewer and listener reach. We are not funding fluff, Honourable Speaker. We are funding facts and fairness. And in the people's language, always. I'll say this again because it matters. You go to the market in Sausavu and you ask someone, what do they think of Honourable Deputy Prime Minister Prasad's new tax reform? They won't reply, well, I believe it aligns with our macroeconomic recalibration strategy. They're going to say, well, how does this help me pay for my dinner at the corner store? That's the language we must use. That is the clarity we must aim for. In fighting disinformation, Honourable Speaker, this ministry will launch a rapid response unit to tackle misinformation, especially during elections, during disasters, and health emergencies. We will run media literacy programs in secondary schools, and these are not just for the students, but also for teachers, for parents, and the curious citizen. Because an informed public is a nation's best defense against chaos. Next month, Honourable Speaker, and hopefully in partnership with the Fiji Media Association, we will carry on with the town hall meetings, partnering with the Ministry of Information. Honourable Speaker, on a personal note, I know what it's like to be judged. I know what it means to fall. But I also know what it means to stand back up. Not because you forget what happened, but because you remember why you serve. Honourable Speaker, truth builds a nation. This ministry is committed not just to managing narratives, but for stating facts and putting it out in a way that our people will understand. Let every Fijian, whether it's a farmer in Bua, or whether it's a student in Nandi, or whether it's someone who lives in my village in Tiliva, Nakaselaka Kandavu, they should be able to say, my government spoke to me clearly, honestly, in my language, and of course in Ra as well, in Malawa, and without any spin. Honourable Speaker, that is the ministry I hope to build. That is the promise that our ministry makes, and now the work begins. Navalevu Tanyabat Faiksi, Honourable Speaker. God.
I thank the Honourable Tabuya, Minister for Information.